Hello, everybody, and welcome to our team Zoom. I see people waving. The ones that have their cameras on are waving, which is awesome. Love it when I get to see people and see what you actually look like. But my name is Harlequin Murray, and I'm your co-host this evening, and I get the distinct honor and privilege of welcoming everybody to begin with. If you are new here with us, we appreciate you being here. We're excited to have you join us, and you're in the right place because you're learning what we need to know about DAC and how to move forward and build a successful business. But I get to introduce our team leader. She's our senior team leader, and she is my personal enroller. I've known her for many, many years, so we've had lots of good times together. But for those of you who are new here today, just a little bit of information about her so you get a feel for where she's coming from. Ellen grew up in the Atlanta, Georgia area on a farm in a town called Dallas, Georgia, which is just a little ways out of Atlanta. But anyway, she grew up there, and whenever she got out of school, she ended up going and working in the restaurant industry for many years. She was able to go and work her way up. She worked, the last corporate job that she had was with Domino's Pizza, and she was a regional director and a training manager for them as well. So she's got a lot of experience teaching people how to do things and how to run a business. So much so that she decided to go and move out on her own and start her own pizza restaurant. And she had a couple of different locations, and she's been a business owner ever since then. But she ended up, gosh, I think it's about 15, 18 years ago now, she was introduced to network marketing. Am I getting that right, Ellen? You can shake your head.
2002.
Okay.
20 years
so
ago.
Almost 20 years, well, a little over 20 years now. But anyways, she's been in network marketing for many years. When I first met her, she was actually the national training director for a network marketing company and was running a training center here in the Atlanta area. But she has a ton of experience working with teams, building teams to, thousands and thousands of people on the teams. And she's also got the experience of being a business owner as well in a traditional route. But anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen Winn, go ahead and take it away for us, please.
Thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that. And so glad that you made it back from your trip safely. Guys, Harlequin's been out of town for almost a week. And that's what you get when you have the luxury of owning your own business. You can work from anywhere you choose or take time off. And Harlequin's been getting paid through her team overrides while she was traveling. So really glad that you had a good time away and that you're back now ready to dive in as we're getting ready to really ramp things up here with DAC and our new compensation plan. David touched on that a little bit today. So we're super excited. It's a great place and time to be involved with DAC. If you're welcome and this is the first time you've joined us, welcome. We do this Zoom every Monday night. We've been doing this now for well over 2 years. We started every single Monday right after COVID hit and came together. Harlequin and one of her team members had been talking to me about, what can we do for the team? What can we do? And I thought about it long and hard because it was a long and hard commitment to make, to say I'll lead a Zoom every Monday. And we've been doing that without fail every single week. The only exception has been a couple of holidays when we knew everybody was going to be doing their own thing. We did not do a team Zoom. Harlequin has stood in for me a couple of times, and it's just been a great opportunity to get to know some of you guys, get to see you on camera and hear your stories and testimonials. And we'll do some of that tonight. We've got a couple of new promotions we're super excited about, but I'll go ahead and get us into screen share in just a second. I did want to say this. Harlequin, thank you for the edification, introducing me and my training background. You know, I like to tell people this when I'm working directly with someone. My experience through traditional business since 1997 in the network marketing space, that's right. I have a lot of experience. I know what works, and I have figured out from experience what doesn't work. So I'm always going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm not always going to tell you what you want to hear, right? But I'll tell you what you need to hear, and I'll be honest with you on whether I think you're headed down the right path or wrong path. And if you're doing things that aren't proven in the DAC system, you're welcome to try those avenues, but I'll always try to steer you back on course. So let's go ahead and get into screen share, and I'll take us through our team recognition that we always start out with our DAC to the rescue. And here we are with our superhero uniforms on under our daily gear, and every one of us have this inside of us. So we're going to start out with our top recruiters for the week, and this is going to be the week of February the 27th through March 5th. And our recruiting leaderboard, the top 4 positions, which we have a couple of ties there. In first place, we have DB Funding Solutions with 7 new agents for the week. In second place, we had a 2-way tie with DeAnthony Thomas and Lisa Campbell. Way to go. And then I came in third with 3 new agents. And in fourth place, we had a 2-way tie with Katina Willis and Sunil Desai, each with 2 new agent recruits. We have many more people that had 1 new recruit, but to make it to the leaderboard and have your name recognized, you had to have at least 2 agent recruits. All in all, we had 35 people in the team that had 1 or more new agents join DAC, for a total of 44 new agents join my sales organization, which of course includes Harlequin. As she said, I enrolled her, and all of you that are on Harlequin's team are part of those numbers, plus many more that I have personally recruited and sponsored direct to me. Okay. So congratulations to everybody who made the leaderboard. Look forward to seeing your name on there soon. If you're having conversations with people and your name's not on there tonight, or maybe you had 1 new recruit, it's just a matter of time before you have 2, 3, 4 new recruits in a week. And guys, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that happening, right? Some of us and some of you on the leaderboard are doing things through videos, and you've got social media out there that is an attraction method, or maybe you're running a Craigslist ad, or maybe you're doing something and people are attracted to you and they're seeing what you're doing in the business. So whatever it is, it's just a matter of time before you start having more than 1 agent a week recruited to your team through your personal recruiting efforts. All right, next, I want to get on to the promotions. And as I said, we've got a couple of new promotions this week, and that's getting to DAC 1. What is DAC 1? This position is going to remain here, but we're going to add a new title to it from what I understood David to say today. But if you have made these ranks, he also mentioned that he'll be grandfathered in. So that's my understanding. If that's wrong, he has the right to change that. But I believe that this is going to be grandfathered in with the new compensation plan that he's probably recording right now as we speak. So our promotions to DAC 1. To get to DAC 1 means you have to have at least 1 qualified funding. What is a qualified funding? Well, qualified means that they will count as a client towards promotion and towards getting amped up. Okay. And to be a qualified client, that means they have to be at least $6,000 in funded value. So 1 qualified client, 6,000 or more funded value, and a total funded value of 10,000 or more. So to get to DAC 1, you could have just 1 client, or it may take you a couple of clients to get to that total, or maybe even more. But tonight we have 2 gentlemen that were able to hit DAC 1 with 1 client, both of them exceeding that 10,000 funded value. So I'd like to congratulate Jay Plummer and Emmett Nash. We have both of these gentlemen on the line with us tonight. We'd like to hear from them each. So Harlequin, I'll let you do the honors. Both of these are on Harlequin's team, and I know she is a proud teen mama, and I'll let her do the intros here.
Absolutely. I am exceedingly proud of these two gentlemen. I know how hard they have worked to reach this, but I'm going to start off with Jay just because he got his funding first. So Jay, if you can kind of tell us how you got the client, what industry they're in, not the name of the client, and what they're planning on doing with the money, and your general thoughts about the whole thing.
Well, it was a liquor store. I believe they were going to purchase more inventory or different type of inventory with the money. It was $15,000 funding. So I got a $600 commission, which was nice. I got it yesterday. Well, no, I actually got it Friday, but we had some technical difficulties. But we got it all situated. I got it from the home show. We had a home show here in El Paso, Texas, and I was there at the home show mingling, talking to business owners, and I ran across a mortgage lender. And this particular mortgage lender, we became quick, fast friends. And he gave me the name of a client. He said, "Hey, you know what? This woman is looking for some money, and I can't help her. Can you help her?" So he gave me the number. I called right away. As soon as he gave me the number, I called her and got her involved with the application process, and it was too easy. I also am getting a couple more, I believe, from another event that I was at. So what I'm thinking is, if you can try and get to as many local events that are held in your town, city, or metropolitan area. They're really great networking tools, and you can get quite a bit of clients from there. So I encourage all of you to at least try and attend one every month, or if they have one a week, go. They're really great tools for our company.
Well, so here, if I can, Ellen.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you attended a home show. You didn't get a booth there, correct?
Correct.
You just attended and walked around and talked to the different people.
Correct.
And then you met somebody who was a mortgage broker and you got a referral. So that's how you got your first client.
Exactly.
Now, I also know that you were participated and had a booth at a business expo at a bank. So
yeah, at Chase Bank. Yeah. I couldn't believe they'd allow me to be in there, to be honest with you. I was laughing because it's just such an oxymoron. I'm a lender, or not a lender, but inside of a bank, at a small business little expo there, and I jumped all over it. And what's funny is the mortgage brokers and the lenders there, they loved the services, and I have all of their business cards. They want me. I actually called them today and thanked them again and told them how much I appreciated them allowing me to be there, and they really appreciated that. So follow-up is important. So that's what I did today. Hopefully that pans out.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great event. It was fun. Met a lot of people, a lot of business owners. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. Well, I know how hard you have worked to get to that level.
I've been trying.
And a lot of my best clients come from referrals from banks. So you're right on track with that. Ellen, did you have some questions for him?
I did. Well, one, I wanted to congratulate you, Jay, and not only with that client, but how professional you looked with your setup at the bank. David pulled up your post from Facebook, and they're really looking good. But I also wanted to comment on your technical difficulty on getting your commission. I heard you say that earlier today, and just to clarify that for everybody listening tonight, the technical difficulty with Jay getting paid was he had changed his email address, and the email that we have on file as your David Allen Capital email has to match the email that is with your Relevate account. So those two didn't match after he had changed it up. So it took the internal team, actually David, he addressed that today and sent it over to David, and it was fixed instantly. I had another one of those this past week with one of my personally enrolled agents, and sent it over to David, and within 30 minutes it was corrected. So thank you for bringing that up instead of sitting back frustrated that you didn't get your money yet, right?
I know. Well, technically my email was down, so I couldn't verify my email account.
Gotcha.
So that was what was the problem. I couldn't access my email because we transferred my domain over to Squarespace.
Yeah.
So that was a mess. It was a mess, but we got it all resolved. So
well, good.
that's
Well,
all that matters.
And you all should appreciate that extra little safeguard that's in there, so that, you know, there are some checks and balances before your money gets released, verifying that it's going into the right account. So congratulations again, Jay. We appreciate you. We're real proud of you. And I just know you're going to have tremendous success here. You're definitely on the right path and following Harlequin's example.
I know, she's the best.
Doing those trade shows and going around talking to vendors. Okay, Harlequin, I'll pass it back to you now.
Okay, well, thank you, Jay. And the next person who got a funding is somebody that I personally enrolled. And I'm super excited to hear, Emmett, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and we will, here, I'll okay, there you go. And if you can do the same, you know, the type of business, how you know the client, and if you know what they're using that money for, and just a little bit about it.
I met the business through a networking group that I go to every week. He was a printer, and he was moving from one location to another and needed the money to cover the move. He's been talking about this for several weeks, and he said he would get the money at the last minute, which I'm sure did once his build out was completed. But it was a matter of going to a networking meeting, and as frustrating as it gets, as a matter of the fact that particular networking meeting, I've almost stopped going to a couple of times because I just didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. But I did keep going, and when he showed an interest, I was careful to keep going. But he said he just didn't want to deal with a bank. I think he probably could have. He's been in business a while, and I think he probably got a pretty good rate from us. I know he did because he negotiated it down. But it was a good move for us. My primary work has been with networking. I go to several meetings a week, and I think the consistency of networking is you have to go on a regular basis so that people get to know you. And even though a lot of people at the networking meeting may not be a brick and mortar location who might can use your services, they often know a lot of people who do. And so it's just a matter of continuing to go and continuing to get to know people. As we've all said, it's a matter of people deal with people whom they know and whom they come to believe in. And that's what makes the difference between us and the telephone solicitor who's offering a similar product.
Absolutely. Now, because I happen to know this particular client, didn't you also have something that happened back in December with him?
Yeah, he signed up for the employment retention tax credit. He is set to get that money as well. The interesting thing about him is when I first mentioned that to him, he blew it off and said he only had 2 employees and it just wasn't worth his while. But I convinced him to go online and just see what he is getting, and he's getting quite a chunk. So that's a matter of getting past his resistance of just not thinking it was worth it, and getting him to spend the 5 minutes to find out that he did in fact qualify, and then he went through the process and is at this point waiting on the money.
Yeah, and that it was submitted to the IRS at the end of December, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's anytime now, you know, in the next,
could be,
in the next 3 months or so.
I've heard anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 years, but that's, whatever they want to do it is fine. He
Yeah.
assures me he'll find a use for the money whenever he gets it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Emmett. I know how hard you have worked on this. I know you've come pretty close a couple of different times, and I'm just super excited and super proud of you. So
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your help.
yeah, absolutely.
And congratulations, Emmett. I know your networking is paying off. I had one of my local chamber members come up to me the other day and ask if I knew you. And she said, Clarence. And I said, that name doesn't ring a bell. And I know you go by Emmett. So I had to come back and do my due diligence and ask Harlequin. And she said, oh yeah, no, that's Emmett. And
Wow.
I said, when she asked me if I knew you, I said, the name doesn't ring a bell. And I said, just tell me, is this person representing DAC well? And she said, oh yeah, he does a great job. So congratulations on that. And glad to know that my competition in another networking group is on my own team. So
I appreciate that. Thank
real
you.
proud of you for getting that funding and your continued networking. And I love what you said, that you were just about to give up on that group, not thinking you were getting anywhere. And then all of a sudden you start getting traction. And I think that's the way success happens for all of us on different paths across our lifetime, is that we're just one step away from success. So don't be giving up. If you're out here having conversations, that next conversation may be the very one that turns into a funded client or an ERC client or a Relevate account or a referral. Through a lender, like Jay was explaining. You just never know what is around the corner for you. So thank you for your testimonial tonight. Harlequin, anything else before we go back to the slides?
No, I think that's it. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's get back into screen share. Just have a couple other things here. And I'll go back to, here we go. We're going to skip over that. That's what I covered last week. I want to talk to you a minute about Breezy Connect Cash. David hit on our compensation plan, and he's been talking about it for weeks now, saying that our comp plan is going to be customer driven. For those of you that have been around with us since since last year when we were partnered with Longevity, you didn't hear David talk a whole lot about residuals because our compensation plan was driven with funding clients, right? And plus we didn't have the other products and residual services that we do now back then. But you're going to hear more and more on the residual side of things, and you're going to understand the importance of getting customers. And that's what David has been talking about. It's going to be part of our culture and a part of our day-to-day conversation when we come to building the business. And I want to remind you guys, if you have a funded client, right? Jay and Emmett, make sure that you go back and connect with these customers and get them connected through the Breezy Connect Cash, because Breezy Connect Cash is going to be a way for you to get additional customers that count as your personal customers without you having to do the work. So basically, when someone comes on as a funded client or an ERC client, they have the opportunity to sign up for the Breezy Connect Cash. If they sign up for Breezy Connect Cash, then that client now has a marketing link. It's a David Allen Capital link, a referral code, that if they send a client their referral code to get funding or the ERC, any of the Bank Breezy products, if they send a client that link and someone gets funded through them, then they're going to make 1 to 2% of whatever that client gets back, whether it's funding at 2% off funded value or 1% if it is the ERC. And then that client becomes your frontline client. That link is a referral link, but it has your name and information at the top of the page. So if they have questions, they're going to have your phone number and your email address. But again, it goes back as your customer. So here's what happens. You have a Breezy Connect customer. They refer a client who gets funded or ERC. After they get funded or have an ERC, then they can also get the Breezy Connect Cash link, and they can be a messenger as well. So now you've got multiple customers out there that as they're using their Breezy Connect Cash links, all of these Connect Cash referrals count as your personal customers, helping you towards ranking up, helping you towards being engaged, and helping you be amped. And that residual plan that David's been talking about, the higher your monthly customer revenue is, the higher it is, the higher percentages you're going to qualify for. So we really need to be focused on having as many conversations as we can personally and utilizing the referral program that is already built into our compensation, but just reminding our personal customers about this program. So these guys start talking and they tell a few people, and you get a few more of your clients that get funded, and they have referrals that get funded, and they get a Bank Breezy Connect Cash link, and so on and so on. And look at how many people over time can be out there marketing, and every one of these conversations are marketing on behalf of David Allen Capital and the great experience that they had, and the funding experience or the ERC retention credit that they got back. They get a little piece of the pie, right? They get a little piece of the commission. So it is paying them either to help them pay off their funding early, or just giving them money that they can do with whatever. But every one of those word of mouth conversations and them sending out their Breezy Connect Cash link ties back to you as the personal enroller of those customers. So I think it's brilliant. We're going to see more and more of this as we get into the Relevate with the consumer accounts that are going to be coming. They're building in the same type of referral program so that your customers will have an incentive to tell other people about Relevate, and not just sending them to Relevate. They'll be sending them to their own little referral link so that they get rewarded, and it ties back to personal customer for you. So that's really what I wanted to touch on tonight, give you that visual. I haven't gone through the Breezy Connect Cash and showing how that can grow in quite some time. So at this time, I see I've got a hand up here. I want to go to questions and answers. Anything that you want to ask about, I can answer some compensation questions if David alluded to something today that you might have a question about. But let's go to James Doswell. Hey, James, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, hello, everybody. I'm fine. Thank you very much. I just had a couple of things that I wanted to touch on real quick. The statement that Emmett just made, that the customer for the ERC got a substantial amount with only 2 employees. That's a good something for someone to contemplate, is that, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, 20 or 50 or 100. The guy was excited, you know, that, and he only had a couple of people. So, that's a good thought to have. The other thing that I want to mention is on the Connect Cash there, the link that the people get, it goes directly to each one of our overview page. So if you look at your own overview page and it has value to you, because it's a great looking page now, okay, it's almost like a landing page out there being distributed by these people, and it goes right to that overview page, and it's got all our information and everything on it. So if you didn't realize that's where it went, that's where it goes. And the question I have, Ellen, is when you were with Wilma on Friday, did Chris give any new little tidbits that we didn't get from the Relevate training the other day?
No, not really. I mean, it really just gave me the opportunity. And let me explain real quick. James is referencing a comment that I made on last week's Friday Zoom. Friday Zoom, because we started this at 11 and we finished up right before the 11:30 Zoom started. I was invited in. Wilma and in my organization had a group with 300 employees, 300 plus employee group, and had set up that call for Relevate to talk to the business owner. She had included me in that email invite, so I got to sit in on that meeting. We heard from Chris Sears, who we also heard from on the Relevate announcement, and really it was just him going through question and answer with the client. They had some intricate questions because of their business structure and part-time people coming and going and all of that. They had some things that they wanted to review and get back with him, but he showed up, he had a bad cold and he apologized. His nose was running. He said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm working today. I've got a cold, but I wanted to make sure I was here to get your questions answered." So no doubt that the team will be there to support and handle questions for us. But I don't think I learned anything different there than what was already covered on the training, James, but that's a great question. It just solidified the process.
Great. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Appreciate the question. All right, let's go to Cherry. Hey, Cherry, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Okay, a couple of questions. The first one regarding the Connect cards. I tried to order it, but I keep getting an alert on that site saying that it was an unsafe site. I tried Firefox, I tried Chrome, and it still get the same alert. What should I do?
Let me go look at that.
Okay.
Let me go look at that site real quick.
And I went in through the resource center.
Right, going through the homepage of the Agent Resource Center, and we have our new Connect cards, order now, redirecting. It's an HTTPS store, and it takes you over to Johnson Advertising, right? Okay.
But
now
does it go directly to the Johnson store? Because I got an alert saying that it was an unsafe site, but it did give me the Johnson store.johnsonads.com, I think.
It does. It says redirecting to Johnson, and I've got a auto login. It took me straight in there, and I've got different firewalls and protection on my Chrome browser here. So I don't know what that would be. I think it's something on your computer with a firewall or something on those lines.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to find out. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
Sure. Next thing is, do we have to reorder cards like every 3 months or something, just to keep that number that they're going to give us?
It's a 6-month order, I think, on there. Harlequin, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have it in front of me, but you also have the ability to add additional time on the number there, but actually the amount that you would spend on extending the number in the months on that, I would just order more cards. So it's an incentive for you to get the cards out, not just let them sit around and
that's
hold on to them, right?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, and if you run out of time on it, get you a sticker, put a sticker over it and move forward. You know, don't feel like you need to throw them out and not be able to use them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the question. Bobby Knight, how are you doing tonight, Bobby?
How you doing, Ellen? I want to
Good,
thank
good.
you and Harlequin and the rest of your team. I appreciate being here with you guys. My question is, I just want to make sure I heard some things correctly. On the coding, are we going to have compression on that? I'm familiar with the coding from former companies about that. And do you know what the enroller commission would be from the lowest to the max on the enroller commission that he was talking about, David, basically?
No, he hasn't released that yet, but the coding is going to be for your entire group. So compression wouldn't even need to apply, my understanding of that. So once you get to AD, you start a new group, and that new group is your area director group, and then on up the other ones, but you'll be coded on the entire group and earn whatever that is, 15% or 20%, whatever those levels are for that coded group. The compression comes into play on the 7 levels of the unilevel, where he was telling us today that it'll be compressed. So you may have an organization that's 20 levels deep as far as sponsorship goes, and you may get paid on all of those that have activity because you may only have 7 people deep in a 20 deep organization that actually have qualifying volume. What is that qualifying volume? As what I was referencing earlier, we've got to go get customers, because you're going to need at least 50 qualifying volume points every month to be able to earn on your team. So to get to your funding is going to count. Everything that we market is going to count towards that qualifying volume. And the terminology may not be accurate. I know he's changing up some terminology here, but you're going to need at least 50 points a month. And your goal is to have 2,000 points a month. I believe was the top end he had mentioned, but getting those customers, funding will count towards that, but funding is typically going to come in chunks and periodically, right? Your best bet is to try to find those customers that are going to be the long-term, like the Relevates. They're going to be putting volume into the comp plan every single month. The payment processing clients, volume every month off of the processing. Healthcare clients, the DAC Protect, all of those bill on a monthly basis, or there's volume that's generated through those on a monthly basis, and that'll count towards your qualification. So those are great additional programs to be marketing in addition to the funding, because the funding, you're going to have the peaks and the valleys, on the funding there. Or if you get a big funding, David said he's probably going to break that up over several months to help you get qualified. But again, the long-term income is the residual. That's why I'm super excited about Relevate. So good question. And I want to share a story too. Had a call today. One of my personally enrolled agents put me on a call, did an introduction call with a couple of gentlemen that have been in professional sales for many years. And they are very good at going into large organizations and getting through the gatekeeper to the decision makers, right? We did a call today and introducing them to Relevate. And we just talked about the opportunity specifically with Relevate. I didn't do the DAC business presentation at all. That'll come next. But my verbiage was, my company has been working behind the scenes with Relevate for about a year now, putting everything together so that we can be a marketing arm for them. All of that's in place now, and we're just now getting ready to roll out to bring on agents like yourselves that have a first movers advantage in the marketplace to bring on some large organizations. And just tell them there's an upfront bonus with that, about $2 a head on every direct deposit account that gets set up, and then 20 to 50 cents per month off of each of those accounts on a residual basis. Both of them left the call excited. They stayed on the phone with me for 45 minutes asking questions, and then now they're doing their due diligence, looking at the Relevate site and trying to determine who the competitor is. And then tomorrow we're going to regroup and talk about next steps there. So it's a great opportunity. And if you guys are not having conversations or not thinking outside the box on who that might be a door opener there, just like the referrals with the mortgage broker or being able to be inside of a bank, as Jay was, think outside the box and don't close yourself in to limiting your potential here with all of that we have to offer. So thank you for that. Cherry, I'm gonna go back to you. Did you have another question?
Yes, I did. I forgot. Whatever happened to tech support? I know it went away, but we could have kept it. Is it still around, or is it gone completely?
It is not around. That product, I had it for a long time. I had the bundle.
I did too.
Package, and there were just some issues with it. And
I know.
The customer service issue became so large that David said, we've got to pull this. We can't sign people up for this product and then be paying for a monthly service and they're not getting their value for it. So it went away. And as far as I know, there's no intention of bringing it back unless there's an alternative service out there that you know of that David might be interested in promoting. The idea and the concept of it was great, but their customer service was just horrendous.
It was terrible, because I got someone to fix my computer and he deleted almost all of my files. Oh no. Yes. And then, So
now, there you go.
Yeah,
that's what happened to the IT service.
Yeah. And I think I know someone who had it, but he still thinks that he has the antivirus that they had given.
The Bitdefender.
Yeah. So I have to tell them that they don't have it anymore. Okay.
Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your question.
Sure. Okay.
And for those of you that don't know, that was a product that we were offering. It's been well over a year, maybe 2 years since we pulled it off of the offering there. So rightfully so. Okay, back to you, Jay.
Actually, can I
Sorry.
make a comment real
Oh, go
quick?
ahead.
Jay, sorry to interrupt. If the person is wanting to have the bit defender, that is still included with the identity theft coverage.
Okay, I'll let them know. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, I just wanted to let everybody know about a social media platform called Alignable. If you're not on it, you need to get on it. It's a local, you can go national if you go with the premium package, but it's a local social media network that is available right now. You get recommendations and so forth, but right now, because of my involvement with that platform, I've become an ambassador for El Paso. So what I would encourage you all to do is get on that platform. You can find a lot of leads. You can find a lot of people that are trying to connect with other small businesses, and they're all small business owners or managers. So that is a platform I strongly encourage everyone to jump on and sign up for. I believe it's free. You can sign up for the premium packages if you'd like, but get on it. That's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you for that tip, Jay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Anybody else? Harlequin, do we have things in the chat that we need to
We
answer?
do.
Awesome.
The first one is from Shelton. Whenever you mentioned that, Jay had that issue with the email addresses not matching. He's changed his DAC email address, but he needs to know how to change it in Relevate so that he doesn't run into that challenge.
Right. So you just want to call Relevate support, and you should have that in your email. So you want to call them and they will hook you up. I don't know if it's going through I don't think you can change it in your profile. I think you have to call support to do that, to change your email. That's a good question though. What's the next one you have there? I'll go to Relevate and look.
Okay, and then if I totally mess this name up, I apologize. This is a new person on the team. I think it's Shardasia. Hopefully I'm getting that correct. She said she's new to DAC, so welcome to the team. We're excited that you're here. But she was asking about ERC, and because someone had asked a question about ERC in the chat that was a really simple one. But just to let you know, if you go into your Agent Resource Center, while Ellen is looking up the other thing, if you go into the Agent Resource Center and go to the Getting Started tab, the second video is an ERC training. It is part of the CARES Act. It's a tax credit from the IRS. It's a payroll tax credit, and it is a great way to make some money and to help a business owner who was impacted by COVID. So if you have any further questions about that, Shardasia, just let us know. Oh, I did get it correct. Yay.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I found the answer. I just logged into my Relevate account, my bank account. And when you go there in the top right-hand corner, it'll have your initials, and there's a link to a profile. If you click on the profile link in the top right corner, then there's a white tab. If you click on that again, then under security, it gives you the option to modify your email address, where you can go in and update that so that it matches the email address that you have on file with David Allen Capital. So that should be it. Thank you for that question. And allowing.
I think that was all of the questions in the chat that I saw. If I missed one, please go and retype it in.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some videos on the comp plan. And once David gets those videos out, we'll also have the PDF to go along with it. When that gets uploaded into the Agent Resource Center, I'll send that out. And I encourage you guys to really sit down. I understand we're changing some of the verbiage and we're changing the way that we talk about funded value. There's a different terminology for that, but David has changed that out of necessity so that the qualifying and the bonus revenue and the residual revenue and the qualifying volume all are applicable to everything that we market, not just funding, because we're not just funding anymore as we have been for so many years. So trying to make that transition so that the terminology and the values that we put on to everything for the bonus plan are common percentages. So look forward to that. It may be a little bit of a learning curve, especially if you were deep dive into the old compensation plan, but I'm sure that as you look at the comp plan deeply, you're going to see some really neat enhancements to it. Something we've never had in the past. We've got a car bonus now. We've got a expense bonus as we move through the ranks. The coding bonus, that's going to be huge. And just the little slight tweak that David made a few weeks ago before this all got launched, where he said, okay, from today forward, we're no longer paying that extra money to the enroller themselves or to the customer getter themselves. Like when you got to DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 4, AD, etc., you used to get a little bump in your own pay. Now that money is going to the upline. As the one getting the customer, you may go, well, I wish I had that money. I promise you, when you start building a team and your team is starting to get fundings and so on, you're going to really appreciate that tiny little tweak that was made, because the majority of people that were getting those fundings weren't amped up. So they actually got a raise, because if they weren't amped up and they were only engaged, they were only getting 3.9% on their personal fundings. Now they're getting 4%. If they weren't engaged at all, they were only getting 3%. So that 4% across the board is a raise for the majority of agents that are getting fundings. But the money that gets paid to the upline team leader now really stokes a fire in the ability for all of you that want to build a team and want to make DAC a full-time income. It gives you the ability to start earning those large chunks from overrides where you're helping your team be successful and make money. Bless you, Harlequin. All right. Okay, guys, I won't keep talking. I won't drag it out. Did you
Actually, Ellen,
Mhm.
and I will admit I was on a plane by the time the Zoom ended this morning, and I had just gotten home when we started here. Do we have training tomorrow night in the BizOp
Oh,
presentation?
yeah, we do. Thank you for remembering that. Yes, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Tomorrow is the first Tuesday of the month. So that means at 8 p.m. we're going to start out with a business opportunity presentation. David, it's always tweaked a little bit because we've got new things coming in, and the compensation plan, I'm not sure how much of that will be covered in the presentation, but I look forward to seeing it, because when David is excited and he is on fire right now about the direction that DAC is in, it's a great time for you to be having guests on there live to see our CEO with his passion and enthusiasm for this business that we're all building together, right? And then following that at 9 p.m., we'll have our business training, and we're not sure what that topic is either, but all of us need to be on at 8 p.m. tomorrow and at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Both of those will be at daczoom.com. So thanks for the reminder on that, Harlequin. You're definitely correct. All right, one last question before we wrap up. I'm going to go to Bruce Campbell. Unmute yourself, Bruce. Bruce, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Ellen. And hey, I saw you this morning. You look great this morning too on the call. And David, he also made my skin crawl as well, telling his story towards the end. I just want to say,
crawl in a good way, like chills, right?
oh yeah, And I've got quite a few loans that are in the funnel. They're on their way, and same with the ERC is coming too. So I'm finally, Anthony Brecci is just doing a great job out there. And he's calling me 3-4 times a day and with another client. So he's building it, and he's really building it now. So I just want to say hello, and that's it. I just want to say I love you all. Thanks to the team, all of you. You're all doing a great job. And follow Ella Winn. She's going to teach us all how to be the top leader. Thank you.
Bruce. I appreciate your vote of confidence there.
I'm kind of glad I'm my age. I don't have to see a lot of this stuff. Second, I said I'm kind of glad I'm my age. I don't have to see all this stuff when it happens.
Cedric, did you unmute on purpose, or was that an accidental unmute there? Okay, one last thing, alluding to what Bruce said about David's comments today. It gave me chills as well. David kind of shared his testimonial and how he said he's more free to talk about his faith with David Allen Capital ever than he was when he was with Longevity. But he said something today that I've never heard him say. He said, DAC is David Allen Capital, right? He said, but I look at it as David and Christ. And I love that. That just gave me chills when he said that today. So we are with, we're going to be David and Goliath, right? As we're going and changing the network marketing industry. So glad you guys are here for the ride. Let's go knock it out of the park. Let's fill the rooms tomorrow night with our business opportunity presentation at 8 and get ready to learn some great details on a compensation plan as soon as that's released. We'll see you guys on the Zoom tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
Win.
Yes.
Win.
Win with Winn. You got it.
Win.
Good night, everybody.